Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up, Uganda.
We are traveling all over Uganda to find hardworking farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need
to make their farms more productive and adapt to climate change.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice and turn their farms around into a profitable business,
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experience
on the Shamba Shape Up,
Uganda!
Shamba Shape Up has been to many parts of the region. Uganda,
welcome
to Shamba Shape Up, Uganda. Kenya and Zambia.
Welcome
to Munda Makeover.
Keeping animals for milk, meat, eggs, and so on can be a very profitable business. But you need to plan carefully and follow recommended guidelines in order to make good money. In today's episode, we shall see some of these recommendations to follow in order to make your business successful.
First and most important is feed. The rains that we got brought an abundance of fodder for our cows. Meaning, healthy cows that produce milk very well. But because of the unpredictable climate that we have been experiencing, a wise farmer should also think about preserving this fodder to use in the dry season. As you know, in the dry season, milk prices will go up, and when you've made silage and hay to keep feeding your cows with, you will keep getting a steady supply of milk, meaning you can expect good returns.
In past episodes, we have seen the ways in which you preserve your fodder by making silage. Let's look at another way you can preserve this fodder, by making hay. For this, let's go to Kenya, to Machakos County to visit a dairy cow farmer, Elizabeth.
Keeping dairy cows can be a challenge. Sadly, Elizabeth had to sell her dairy cows because she did not have enough feed for them. She has since planted bomber rods for her 2 bulls, but she's worried the fodder won't be enough for her to keep dairy cows again. We have invited Jessica Guy from the International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, to come and teach Elizabeth how to make hay so she can have her dairy cows again.
Elizabeth, now you are telling me before that you had many cows. What happened to them?
Because of the challenges of the rains, I decided to sell them because I had no enough pasture for them. And I bought another 2 small ones so that I can manage them.
That's a very common challenge to many farmers, because we find that many farmers will have a lot of fodder when it is raining, and then we will have no fodder when it's dry. So what I can advise the farmers, they try to store as much fodder when there is plenty so that they can use it later.
How can the farmers do that?
You can either do silage or you can make hay. And what determines which method you're going to use is the type of fodder that you have.
So today we won't talk about hay.
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Have you ever made hay?
No.
First of all, why should farmers make hay?
We want to have enough fodder throughout the year, so that there is no time when you have a lot of fodder that some of it is even going to waste, and the other time again now you don't have any fodder, now you have to sell your cows, as you said. And 2, we also want to harvest that fodder at the right stage, because beyond a certain stage, that fodder will start losing its value, because as a plant grows older and older, it has a lot of fiber and therefore reducing digestibility. At the same time, the nutrients will go down. Again, when you harvest, when you cut that grass, you're also going to encourage it to sprout. So it will quickly come up again and you'll have a lot of fodder within a short time.
Can I use any grass to make the hay?
Hay should be made by the thin-stemmed grass, because even napier is grass. But if you look at its stem, it's too thick for it to dry enough for hay making. So some of those grasses we recommend them for silage making. But also in this farm you have traditional grass. Most of these traditional grasses are not very good in quality.
Okay.
I would recommend that you use grass that is specifically improved for fodder, for example, boma rods. Hay making is simple, it's not complicated. So it involves 3 steps: harvesting, curing, and the baling itself, or making the bales.
Remember to harvest your grass when half of your grass in the field has flowered. This is how the flower looks like. At this stage, the grass has more nutrients that is useful to the cow. You can mix your grass and legumes to make better quality hay.
Hay should be made when the weather is sunny, when there are no rains.
Okay.
So you cut your hay or you harvest your hay. Please remember, do not heap it. You
spread it.
You spread it. And this is because the drying process is more helped by the air circulation. And also at the same time, you want to maximize the sun for it to dry, to lose enough moisture.
Okay.
So let your grass dry for 2 to 3 days. So within now those 2 days, preferably after 3 hours, you can come and turn that grass again. And then now after that, you'll be able to see that your grass now, when you hold it like that, you can see it's not breaking apart, but again it's not too wet. So it's what we would call wilting. It has wilted.
Make a box using materials available. Measure 75 centimeters by 50 centimeters by 40 centimeters. Once ready, put 2 strings and then start by putting grass layer by layer as you compact until the box is filled up. Then tie the strings and your hay is ready.
I have never made a hay, but now I've known how it is meant. If you have the knowledge, farming is not difficult. So it has helped me so much.
Hay can also be made with a baler like this one, especially if you have a bigger piece of land. Once ready, store your hay in a shade so that it doesn't get wet or get too much sun. Also, make sure it's off the ground, away from the rats and rodents. This way you are assured of healthy feeds for your cows throughout the year. Remember, farmers, apart from hay, cows need a balanced diet that has protein, minerals, and clean water. But what else do you need to do to make sure your animals stay healthy? Let's join Kozi and Kachenana in Zambia. Who are we visiting today?
Today we're in Chibombo in Central Province and we're visiting Morten Himagamba.
Morten's farm covers 34 hectares. It has cows for beef production.
Beef is a staple for many a Zambian and there's a readily available appetite for this product. But how easy is it to get it from the farm to your plate? To help Morten get a better understanding is Mutinta Molokota from AgriServe. What would I need to be able to start being a cattle farmer?
First of all, you need a big enough area to support and where you can rear your animals.
Right. What are the most common challenges that I might find?
Geographical challenges. Depending on the area that you are in, there are some diseases that are prevalent in that area. So that's one challenge. So Mr. Morten, what are some of the diseases that you've been experiencing in your animals?
Foot and mouth disease, anaplasmosis. Those in our area here are some of the major diseases that we used to be affected with.
What might we be looking to do to prevent some of these diseases and pests from affecting our animals?
So like the anaplasmosis and the foot and mouth disease he's mentioned, the best way to help prevent that disease is by tick control, which is either dipping or spraying your animals regularly with acaricides.
We spray, but the issue is on the type of ticks.
Right.
So as a result, you find that sometimes you can spray the animals, but ticks are still on the animals.
So most of the dips on the market would cover most ticks. So it's important when you notice that the ticks are not falling off or dying, you change your dip to a different chemical.
Okay.
Yes, the active ingredient in the dip is what
Right.
matters. Yes.
So resistance can be a challenge.
Yeah.
Overusing the same spray chemicals would definitely make the ticks resistant. So we
Exactly.
need to have an understanding of when to change based on the results we're getting from the sprays and the dips. Absolutely fantastic. More tips, please.
So apart from controlling the external parasites, there's controlling of internal parasites. So
Right.
these are worms. So we advise that you deworm your animals at least every 3 months.
Matinta, I'm sure that you can agree with me that Mr. Himarampa is keeping a very, very good herd of cattle here.
Yes.
For this season, they look extremely healthy. So what are some of the things you can commend him for? And if there are any gaps that he might need to fill with the maintenance and management of his cattle, please do share some knowledge.
On the few things I would advise that he works on is the water troughs.
Right.
By placing more water troughs so that the animals all have enough space to drink at the same time, that they
Right.
don't have to compete or wait for each other to drink water.
Right. So, the better you manage your cattle, the more you reduce the risk of loss. Also, you manage your cattle well, it means it's healthier and you get a better profit at market.
Very well said, Kozi. Good spacing, enough clean food and water, and a clean environment is important if we want our animals healthy and high producing. And this is not just for cows, but for other animals in the farm.
Let's learn more after the break.
Welcome back to Shamba Shape Up, Uganda.
Today we are all about healthy animal farming.
We have seen how to keep your cows healthy and productive. In this part, we shall learn how to keep your other animals in the farm healthy and happy too.
Aggie, let's go, quick, quick.
Our next stop is to Masaka to meet a brother and sister who have ventured into pig farming.
Hello, Stephen. Good to see you.
We are in Bukalasa village in Masaka, and today our farmers are Juliet Nakalemba and her brother Stephen Seka Naboke.
Over the moon, what's up?
Hey, I've seen Juliet.
Oh.
Juliet wants to start a piggery, and she has a pig which recently gave birth to 8 piglets. It's a start, but a piggery bang in the middle of an outbreak of swine fever? I don't know.
I'm a pork eater, and he's one. 4 months now, no pork home. We don't bring pork home. Even if you like it much, we don't allow eating pork here. Up to now, we are still scared. Not it did, but we are.
And they're right to be scared. So we brought in an expert, Richard Lumu of the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, to see if he can advise our farmers on how to better protect their pigs.
Swine fever is a viral infection. Once it gets into your farm, there's no any other remedy apart from maybe slaughtering the pigs and then...
What should be done to avoid it?
To avoid it, actually, there are a number of measures which you have to put into consideration. You need to put a fence around, and then you're supposed to fill the gaps in between here so that the piglets cannot go out, so that you can stop wild animals like foxes and dogs, which can come from infested areas and then come in touch with your animals. Secondly, we need to have a foot bath where you're supposed to dip our feet
before
coming in. But you have to use a suitable disinfectant. We have quite a number of them on the market. We have things like Norocleans, we have Biosafe, we have Quebec. And then those disinfectants have got a pulling ability. Once you put your feet like this, they have a pulling ability to pull all the viruses that you have come with on your clothes, and then And when you don't trust the source where you have come from, maybe you are coming from other farm visits, before you come in, you need to first take a bath.
And change.
And change, yes. And at farm level, whoever is taking care of the animals, it's supposed to take care not to eat pork anywhere. If, like a stockman, if goes out and then takes pork, which is infected, and then comes back to the unit, the chances of getting these animals infected are very high, in that these viruses form what we call cysts. So even if you wash your hands, it sticks. But at times you don't brush after eating pork. When you come here, you can spit accidentally, right? And then when you spit, the viruses will have to come in touch. You have to be very careful. Another problem, you are not supposed to feed your animals with swill. We call it swill because this is cooked food, maybe from restaurants, because it can be a very big source. Once they feed on cooked food, their droppings smell a lot and attract flies. And these flies can be an entry point, right? Yeah.
So what do we have to add?
What do you have to add? Yes. Like in maize, what you can do is to break it, we call it broken maize, and then that will be just one ingredient, all right? And then you need to add in proteins. You can put in soya, you can put in cotton seed cake. You can also use these other concentrated feeds like a macro mix. It has got calcium in it, it has got proteins, and then you just add it. Normally we make a formula, you use it 5 kilograms of that macro mix. You put in 20 kilograms of soya, and then we put in 20 kilograms of broken maize, and then you put in like 20 kilograms of maize bran. Yes, and then you make a complete dieting. Get rid of this if you want to make a protein out of it, right? You use the concentrated feeds so that you can benefit. Because I know your goal is we want to move from one step to another, right? Yeah,
indeed.
You want to go commercial, right? But this is a starting point.
If you'd like to make your own feed, mix 5 kilograms of macro mix, 20 kilograms of soya, 20 kilograms of broken maize, and 20 kilograms of maize bran. This will make a complete diet for your pigs. You can also buy feed specifically made for pigs that you can feed at specific age of the pig, that is from day 7 until they are ready to sell at about 4.5 months. Start by giving your piglets half a kilo of creep pellets at day 7 and increase gradually so that by 8 weeks old they are eating 1 kilogram a day. Then from 8 weeks old, give 1 kilogram of feed called sow and winner meal. Increase gradually so that by 4 months, piglets are eating 2 kilograms of sow and winner meal. They should weigh about 60 kilograms at 4 months. From this point on, give 2.5 kilograms of finisher meal per pig per day. Your pig should be ready to sell at 70 kilos. That is around 4.5 months of age. When changing the feed, always mix a little bit of the initial feed with the new feed, so that the pigs are not stressed. But first things first, we need to improve on the roof of the piggery and protect the piglets from wild animals. Caris is not one to waste time, of course. Caris has finished the makeover of the pigsty.
Yes, boss.
How do you like this?
The place is good.
It's good.
It looks good.
It's more secure.
Yeah,
Indeed,
very
indeed
secure.
it is.
Are they all in?
It was to outside.
Where are they? Where are they? It's time to bring in the piglets. Whoa, you need to be seriously athletic for this.
Uncle, you go the other side.
Go for it, Frob. Me? I just hope Juliet and Stephen will continue farming with the same enthusiasm. Now that the piglets are safe and secure, our next Shape Up takes us to meet a farmer and his son at a very special place.
Mr. Francis and Innocent.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, please.
Thank you, thank you.
This is the first brick house, Uganda.
You mean in Masaka, right?
Uganda.
What?
1892.
We're in Kakunyu village in Masaka, and we're visiting Francis Semakula and his son Innocent. Francis loves his chicken, and he had 200 until a disease called Gumboro wiped them out. He has remained with only 50 layers, but he intends to get more. So we brought in our expert Michael Omol from CKL Africa to advise him on hygiene in chicken houses, especially after such a devastating outbreak.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. So, you don't have a disinfectant here, yeah? This is where the birds stay?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel the smell that is just coming out?
I do feel it. Yes.
Are you comfortable with the birds here?
No, I'm not comfortable. Yes.
Even for me, I'm not feeling comfortable because at least we need some proper ventilation with the birds.
Yes.
But I see they're a good number. How many are they here?
Around 50.
50, yeah. I think they are well spread, which is okay. But then my main problem is there is no air enough in here.
It
I don't know what you have thought of doing.
So I've already thought of removing them to the next room.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the room. I mean, it's best if we get to see the room.
It is here.
Yeah?
Next.
Okay. So this is the new house?
It's the new house.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Nice, nice.
Wow.
Good.
You can feel it. This is much better, yeah?
Much better.
Yeah?
It's cleaner.
Okay. So the house is looking very good, but first things first, we entered, there was no disinfectant at the door. So the best thing for me, first thing, we start with the foot bath at the door.
So we go back.
I mean, let's just start from there, yeah? Okay. So as I said, we're going to have a foot bath here. So we can make it very simple. Just get a small basin and then you cut it into half. This, having the sponge, is going to act as our foot bath for today, yeah?
Yes.
So we're going to put a disinfectant. Today we recommend Cooperside as a disinfectant here. So most important, to always have your protective clothing because the chemical can corrode your skin, it's harmful. And then we're going to measure 100 ml of this Cooperside in 10 liters of water, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So always to ensure that whenever you're coming inside the poultry house, you just have your feet fully disinfected properly. The sponge is helping you to avoid too much of waste. So you do that as you enter inside the poultry house, okay? And whenever you're coming out, you should also do the same thing.
How often can we change this solution?
Ideally, it should stay for 2 weeks before you change.
2 weeks. Okay.
But now it will depend upon how dirty it gets. You can choose to do it every week, but it is best working for 14 days. The second part we're going to have is we're going to disinfect the house.
Yes.
As Mzee had mentioned, we had an issue with the birds, and now we want to ensure that the disease is fully eradicated. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, you clean. And now we want to bring in new litter. We want to bring in new cages for the birds to lay eggs. We need to disinfect all the places. And we are going to use still the same concentration of this Cooperside in the pump. We spray the house together with the litter to ensure better efficacy and to ensure that the diseases are well controlled in the poultry house. The most important thing is you need to know how many birds are going to fit in this particular house. So for the birds in layers in a deep litter, we recommend you have 6 to 7 birds per square meter. Since we have done the housing, you know now you don't need to stock as many birds in an area because they tend to be together overcrowded. Then you have cases of cannibalism. They start eating on each other, which is not a good aspect. You get competition for food, competition for light, and even competition for water. Then you have birds which are not doing well, others which are doing very well. The other aspect of the house that you need to consider is the ventilation. When there is too much ammonia, then the birds suffer from a lot of respiratory diseases. And then that will call for a farmer again to incur more cost in going to buy medicine to treat the birds. So we need to know our 50 birds can fit in here very well. We can increase them to another 50 birds to fit in this very house that we have.
Now that we've disinfected the new house and we have a foot bath, it's time to bring in the chicken. So farmers, good hygiene and proper spacing for your chicken is very important for their growth and comfort. It is also important to follow a vaccination schedule so that you can protect your birds from diseases such as Merex, Newcastle, infectious bronchitis, and Gumboro.
Join us next week as we visit more farms right here on Shamba Shape Up. Bye-bye. See you next week.